Yo, what is good? What is going on? And welcome back to another video. So, I think it's day 294 of my NoFap, semen retention, growth, self-development, figuring out who the fuck I am journey. Like that's what this has all been about. Figuring out who I am, learning how to establish boundaries with motherfuckers, finding my purpose, excuse me. Things are good. Like that's just what it is, and things are good because I say that they're good. Just in everything I do, there's just that intention that is set. It's purposeful. 100% purposeful. Like I have a good day on purpose. Like that's something I've never done before in my life. Like I've always hoped to have a good day. I've always wanted to have a good day. Yes, I've woken up and you know what? There were times where I've said before, you know what? Today's going to be a good day. But I still had the meaning behind it that things were going to happen to me that would make it good. So like I was putting out that affirmation without understanding how it really worked. So it was like I would say, yeah, hey, today's going to be a good day, not realizing everything I did within that day would have to have the intention and to it, with the positive energy, positive everything that would make it a good day. That I would say I'm going to have a good day because I'm going to focus on the things that will make it a good day and stick to those things. And if anything were to try to throw me off of that, I literally would choose not to let it affect me. But it never went that way. It was like, yeah, I'm going to have a good day today. Then something would happen. And see, I knew it. I would always go back to the negative stuff that I knew, and it's crazy because like I know a lot of people like that. Like there's so many people who are like, I don't believe anything good will come of this. They're like, well, every time something good happens, like it always goes to shit. It always does this, and I'm like, yo, stick with the first part, that good things will happen, good things will continue to happen, but as long as you continue to believe that it's going to go to shit, guess what happens? It goes to shit. Because when you do that, now, and then this goes back to what I first said, how I'm having a good day on purpose. The more you think that way, you're literally having a bad day on purpose. You're literally like having negative experiences on purpose. But of course, until you reach that level of shadow work and really digging deep into yourself, like you're not going to take responsibility for that, because there's always that blame on everything else and why that failed, why this happened, why that happened. It's the blame, it's the pointing the finger everywhere else. But it's like, no, it happened because you've already said it was going to happen, so you allowed it to happen. You operated within the atmosphere, within the environment to make that outcome happen. It's on you. Completely on you. Like it was crazy because I had a customer, and it was just weird, and I'm not saying he was like so negative, but it becomes challenging when you're dealing with someone who just always wants to stay focused on the problem. Like that's crazy. Like for me, in my position at that job, at the call center, I'm a resolution specialist. I'm a team leader. I handle all the issues, the crazy customers, the this, the that, whatever. And there's many times when after the agent briefs me, I already know what's going to happen. I already know that I already know how I'm going to be able to assist them. And I've just gotten better with, because before when the agent would transfer the customer over, I would just introduce myself in my position, but I would kind of act as if I didn't know what the situation was, just let the customer explain it. But I'm in such a different space, within my life that I, for lack of a better term, I really just cut to the chase. I cut, like, I don't like going through all the BS. But there was a gentleman in which, so the agent explained the situation, and I told her, I said, well, just so you know, you're wrong. She was like, wait, what? So how does the process work? And I said, yeah, all we have to do is this, and this. So yeah, no worries. I'm just letting you know moving forward, so you know how to handle it. Because like, she was brand new. I'm not going to chastise her for not knowing the process. You feel me? And she was, oh my God, thank you so much for explaining. I said, yeah, no problem. So then I get online with the customer, and I explain that, and I after I introduce myself, I say, this is who I am, this is my role. So my agent advised me this was the situation, but no worries. I understand what she explained to you, which it is in a way part of our process, but she had a couple things mixed up in there, so I do apologize for the misinformation. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and send out, parts A, B, and C to you. And he was like, oh, okay. Yeah, man, because, like, I'm sitting there and she's explaining and I'm like, whoa, okay. Like, it was like he needed to have that. Like, he needed to just hold on to whatever negative feelings he had about how the conversation went. And I'm like, I explained what happened, what she said, what she told you. This is what I'm going to do, so we can just get it fixed. And the conversation should have been over with in like 2 minutes. This joint went on for like 10, 15. Because he just kept going back to the problem. Like, it's almost like he couldn't function being, like, he couldn't properly operate after being treated well. It was like I resolved the issue for him. He just kept going back to the problem. And eventually I had to say to him, like, sir, did you not ask to speak with a supervisor? Well, I did. What are you getting at, sir? Why are we still revisiting what the last agent said? I'm her supervisor. What I say goes over what she told you. So why are you holding me accountable to what one of my agents said to you? And I even apologize for the fact that she had made a slight mistake in what she said, and we just keep going. I mean, sir, we keep going back to the problem. I fixed this within 5 minutes into our conversation. I would like to move forward. Like, yo, I was so annoyed. I mean, he just kept going back, and after I, talked, and kind of addressed it in that way, he was like, well, yeah. And then he just kept asking the same questions, but you, again, as you get better in identifying your shit, you get better in just eventually, with other people, learning like, okay, this is the frequency this person operates in. Like, I'm sorry, like, there was no reason to just keep revisiting a problem over and over and over and over and over. And that even goes for our own lives. If you ever felt like at some point in your life you were stuck, you just couldn't get out this rut, or like a lot of gentlemen who are trying to get into NoFap and they relapse and like, oh, I don't know what it is, because there's something that we keep revisiting in our heads, like a pain, a trauma, like there's something that we keep revisiting, and even for me, even my shit and the shit that I've been going through pops up from time to time. And again, it's healthy to have that, because it just means you're human, you're normal, right? So in any case, the thoughts come up, but again, they don't control me in the way that they did before, because I feel like they would control me by putting me in such a negative state. But now I just identify that these are just thoughts. That's it. These are just thoughts, and these were my perception of excuse me, and this was my perception of how or what a certain situation meant based on what someone did to me versus how they treated me and so on. But I've allowed myself to be in such a good space to where now when these things come up, I'm looking and I'm digging for the blessing that was in them. To say, okay, based on who I am now, excuse me, I really don't have any water. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So based on who I am now versus based on who I am now versus who I'm becoming, it allows me to see where my growth is. And in many cases, like that's the blessing in and of itself, just being able to recognize my growth from how I felt and handled those situations, or how I didn't handle those situations, to knowing and understanding that within the same scenarios, now they will be addressed much differently, to where I'd be protecting my peace, my happiness, and my energy. And at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. I mean, okay, and my daughter. But in the grand scheme of things, my daughter's not all right if I'm not all right. So I got to make sure I'm always all right. You feel me? And so that's really how I get through. Just like I said, when all that negative shit really comes up, you know, like I said, it doesn't throw me into a deep depression anymore. It doesn't create anxiety anymore. It doesn't, you know, I don't, because I have more control over me now, you know. So I just acknowledge and honor those thoughts and experiences, but I've learned to just use them as building blocks, you know, or as a I don't want to say a check mark, but essentially just like, all right, cool, like this, a gauge. There we go, a gauge, you know, to see where I was versus where I am versus knowing where I will be, you know. And it's just all surrounded by growth, man. Like that's just what it is. Like it's just all surrounded by growth. But you have to be positive on purpose. You have to be. And I know this is like continuation from yesterday, but just really thinking about it, it's like, yeah. And I know it sounds cliche. I know whatever pain you're going through is probably the worst feeling ever, but again, this too shall pass. Because trust me, all that shit's temporary. And the best part about it is that your growth truly starts when you get through the hurt and you can recognize it as one, that pain and what you've gone through doesn't determine your value, because you are loving who you are now, right? Which means parts of you wish you could have loved yourself then, but that's fine. You can still love yourself, all of yourself, from birth all the way up until now, and love yourself even harder and forgive yourself for the things that happened to you, because some of it you might blame yourself for, you know? You might. But when you can finally just make peace with all of it and understand that these things had to happen to bring you here, which will get you there, game changer. Game changer. Like, for real. But yeah, man, outside of that, like I said, today was a good day. It was kind of a busy day. Like I was so nervous about oversleeping that I underslept, because I just kept waking up like every hour. Like, I woke up freaking out at like 2:30 in the morning. I was like, shit, I'm late. I was like, I checked my phone. Oh, nigga, damn it. You know what I mean? So then I went to the bathroom, came out, had a little bit of water, and then fucking I went back to sleep. Then I woke up again. Shit. What time is it? 3. I'm like, damn, I just did this shit. So then right around like 4 o'clock, I just figured I'd stay up before my alarm goes off. But all in all, like I said, it was kind of dope, because although it was an earlier shift, it's still within the time of my normal shift, which is 8 to 1, even though I'm off. But I went in at 5:30. I had like one flight at like 7 something, and then I didn't have shit else till like 9:30 ish. Like I had a big break, and then I worked a quick 4 flights after that. It was a big flights. Like these were huge. It was on a Boeing 757. It's a massive narrow body aircraft. So it's just single aisle, but it's really big. But yeah. So there was like 3 of those we had to do. I had to do a departure, inbound. Yeah, then another departure. And then the last flight coming in was a Boeing 737-700 series. So it was smaller, only like 100 bags on that one. And then I didn't have nothing else from literally from 12 to 2. So I had a nice little break from about 7-ish to about 9:15, 9:30. And then after that, from 12 on, nothing. I said, damn, yo, the dudes who work in the morning full time, they got it easy. Because essentially, I mean, aside from that one flight at like 7:45, I had the usual number of flights. It was just on big aircraft, which meant more luggage and more mail and cargo, well, freight. But other than that, it was pretty much a normal day. Now tomorrow, big day, long day. Friday will be a long day, just not as long. But yeah, tomorrow will be from 8 to 11:30 p.m. And then, sorry, I'm like slouching. And then Friday will be from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So, you know, same shit. But either way, my daughter will be back sometime by the end of this week. I need to take a look at the flights to see what's available, because when you fly for free, you gotta make sure the flight is open. You gotta make sure there's seats available for you to get on, because that standby life is stressful. All right, so either way, I'm gonna leave it at that. Again, just remember, be positive on purpose. You have to. All right. So as always, I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And of course, we show gratitude to the universe and to God, because we are grateful for what? The life that we have. So we can manifest the life that we want and deserve, right? As always, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And we will do it again tomorrow. Peace.